Welcome students. Today we will discuss linear time invariant system and convolution. What is a linear time invariant system? It is a system having the properties linearity as well as in time invariant property, which we have studied in our previous videos. For both the domains, that is in digital domain, discrete domain you can say, and in continuous time domain, we have representation of linear time invariant shown here, that a system is LTI system having Hn is the impulse response. Impulse response is what? When we will fed the system with an impulse, then the response is known as impulse response of the system. Similarly, for the continuous time domain, when we fed the system with a delta t, that is continuous time impulse, then we have the continuous time impulse response of the system, which is the characteristics of the system now. Now, any input xn is fed to the system having impulse response hn will make it out yn is equal to xn convolution hn. A new operation known as convolution in time domain will happen due to this system. Similarly, in continuous time domain, if xt is the input entered in the system which has this impulse response ht, then output will be xt convolution ht. So convolution is a new operation where the symbolic representation is x input, y is for output, h is for impulse response, delta is for impulse, and this symbol that is cross in the circle is known as mathematical operation called convolution. And it is the convolution representation of the system of any mathematical operation yt is equal to xt convolution ht. Then this is the mathematical representation. Integration for the whole interval minus infinite to infinite, with one variable is as it is and second is shifted and folded ht minus tau delta d tau, where tau is the dummy variable. After putting the value of tau, the limits, we will have the value only in terms of t, and that is the value of t by t. So it should always be noticed that the output should come out in the term of t if we are calculating yt. Similarly, for yn, that is in discrete time, yn is equal to xn convolution hn, and it is summation for all the intervals for all the discrete values k minus infinite to infinite xk hn minus k, that is convolution, because it is sum, that is convolution sum, and it is integral, that is convolution integral. Both the formulas are very important to calculate the convolution or to find the output from a linear time invariant system. So these are some properties of convolution operation, that is it is commutative. Whether we will calculate xt convolution ht and ht convolution xt, both are same, doesn't have any effect on this integral if we find the output of both the cases x tau ht minus tau and h tau xt minus tau. It means they are interchangeable, they can come first and last. Second is associative. Associative means now xt is convoluted with h1t and convolution h2t. If both the two systems are first convoluted, then convoluted with xt, it's the same that xt is convoluted with ht and then convoluted with h2t. That is, order of convolution doesn't matter. Third is distributed property. Distributed property says that if two systems are added and then convoluted, it is the same if two systems are first convoluted and then added. Next is shifting property. Shifting says that if two values are convoluted resulting some third value, then if one of the value will be shifted, then the resulted value will also be shifted by that margin, that is xt minus t naught, then yt minus t naught. Similarly, if any of the value will be shifted, if both the values are shifted by t naught and t1, then net value will be shifted by sum of both, that is minus t naught minus t1. Similarly, for shifting property can be taken from impulse response also. If any signal is convoluted with a shifted impulse value signal, then its result will be, because impulse function has a unity value, so at t naught it is also a unity value, that is one value. So if this shifted impulse function is convoluted with xt, x1t say, then the result will be directly shifted function, shifted value of that x1. This is important property basically. Now the same properties can be understood using x when t is replaced by n for discrete time. All the properties will be same, will remain same. Now scaling property. Scaling property says that if again a convolution pair xt and ht resulted y, then if we scale time of any of the input xat, hat, then output will also be scaled, but a 1 upon a factor will be multiplied. That is, it is now reduced by, amplitude is reduced by 1 upon a. The effect in scaling in time domain will result decrease in amplitude in output. Next property is unit step property, that is ut is convoluted with ut, then it results a ramp function rt. Next is differentiation property. It says that if we differentiate output, then any of the input will also be differentiated. All reverses, if any of the input is differentiated, then output will be also differentiated. It is differentiation property. Now let's calculate a evaluation of convolution integral. How to evaluate this convolution integral in continuous time domain, that is obviously integral. Now at yt is equal to this formula, we have that earlier. Now we will replace this formula with some intermediate formula, that is wt tau, where wt tau is this figure x tau and ht minus tau. It is some intermediate signal. Let's first calculate this one and then we will integrate this w. Okay, so this method is known as reflection shift method. How we will see, because this is the process to calculate ht minus tau. That first we will calculate ht. We have given already ht. We will replace t to tau and changing the h domain function h tau now. Now h tau will be reflected around tau equal to 0. It becomes h minus tau, and then it is shifted by t, that is ht minus tau. We will show it in example. Suppose we have example here. Suppose we have two values. Xt is some unit step function from 1 to 3, and that is ut minus 1 minus ut minus 3, ut minus 1 minus ut minus 3. This ut minus 1 and this is ut minus 3. Both are subtracted, resulting a gate function having 1 to 3, and amplitude is 1 because it is amplitude is 1 here multiplied with 1. Now ht is some other function, ut minus 2. Ut is what? Again ut is a complete function. Ut minus 2 is from here. Now ut minus 2 will result together gate function 0 to 2. Amplitude is 1. So there are two gate functions. We are calculating the convolution of both, and we note also the fact that unit step function convolution with each other will result a ramp function. So we will keep in mind this property also. Now first step is just to reflect. First step is find the h from ht, find the h tau, that is again t is replaced by tau, here, that is now h tau. Now this h tau is reversed in like this. It is h tau, suppose. Now second is it is reflected. It is to be reflected, and after reflection, suppose this is tau and we are just folding it up, fold it and reflect. Yes, it is reflected. Now it is not h minus tau function. Okay, now third step is after reflection around the origin, now it should be shifted. Now it is shifted, and this is what shifted, and it is shifted by now t minus shifted by t value, that is the high maximum value t. So it becomes now ht minus tau. So what we have done, we have simply have the ht function, reflect it around origin, and then move towards right direction, that is ht minus tau. If in this place we have suppose this type of function, so then in that case also we will reflect it like this, and shift it like this. Further, we have that type of function also. Suppose we have this function in this place, then we can reflect it and shift it like this. So this is what reflect and shift methodology. Okay. So now again, what we'll do, that we will first find the x tau, that is just nothing but the t is replaced by tau, and this function has become x tau, and this is ht minus tau, calculated using the shifted and reflect and shift method. And then we will calculate the shift. Suppose the starting value is here after reflection, and now shift 1 result here, shift 2, suppose this is shift 0, it is h minus tau function, this one. Okay, now we will shift 1, it becomes this function. Now we will shift 2, it becomes this function, 2 minus t tau. Now shift 3, it becomes this function. Shift 4, it becomes this function. Okay, and further shift, you will find the different values, different shifted values of function. Now here we have shown that it is in discrete manner, that is shifted by 1 only, 1 2 3 4 5 6, but in a continuous domain it should be shifted continuously. Okay, so when we shift this function, we will calculate the area under the curve like this. Suppose initially function was there and x tau is there, then we will multiply both the terms and find the common area under the curve, common overlapping area. There is no common overlapping area, it is 0. Now again it is shifting continuously. Now when it becomes here, then now area under the curve is slight line, so it is again a 0. And then now this case area under the curve is slightly there because it passed from 1, so there must be some small area under the curve, and this area under the curve will keep on increasing as we move further. So this area, that is a small ut function basically, and then convolution with this area, or you can say the finding that this overlapped area will keep on increasing, that is a ramp function. And further, this area is maximum when it becomes at the same limits 1 to 3, now 1 to 3. So it is the maximum area, that is this point, this point in this case. Now further we will move the function, then it becomes lesser. Now overlapping area becomes lesser, this is a stable function, and this is a moving function, and now it becomes after certain time, now area become lesser, so the ramp function is keep on decreasing, that is net area under the curve, under the overlapped area, is keep on decreasing. Finally we will reach here, there is no area common, so we will have the value 0 here, that is the fifth point. And further from here there is no overlapping area, so this is the final function, which is the convolution of both the functions. We can calculate it. So we can find out also that from limits 1 to 3 and 3 to 5, there are two cases. 1 to 3 area keep on decreasing and increasing, and 3 to 5 area keep on decreasing. There are two integral basically. In this case 1 to 3, that is, you will find the 1 to 3 integral x tau ht minus tau, and it becomes t minus 1, and 3 to 5, it is 3 to 5 limits, the same integral results 5 minus t. And if we plot both the figures, then it is t minus 1 and 5 minus t is the two curves, two ramp functions. And beyond that area it is always 0, when t is less than 1, it was starting phase when there is no overlapping. When t is greater than 5, then it is the post phase when there is no overlapping again, and in between these two phases there is overlapping. So this is the method to calculate the convolution integral, by finding the limits, by finding the proper limits in which the area will be not equal to 0. Now second method is evolution of convolution sum. This is the convolution sum we are reminding again, and it is the intermediate function w and k, which is nothing but the xk into hn minus k. Okay. To find this, we will first again assume a function. Suppose xn un minus 4. This is xn, 4 values, 4 discrete values, and hn is 1 by 2 un minus 3. 3 values and amplitude is halved. 3 values, amplitude is halved. Okay. So let us convolute these two values in discrete time domain. This is the formula of convolution again. We are reminding xk, hn minus k, and wn k is the. So first step is plot xn in terms of xk. That is just nothing but the n is replaced by k because we have to plot xk. Plot the same function in k. That is k is here, xk is here, where n equal to 0, k is 1. And second value should be hn minus k, and n minus k, when n equal to 0, it becomes h minus k. So just h minus k is what? H minus k is again this function is reversed. This function is just reversed like this. Okay. So this function is reversed, that is 0, minus 1, minus 2. These are the values. Just reverse the values. It means one value will go here minus 1, 2 value will go at minus 2. So this is the h minus k reflected function with n minus 0. And then next step is multiplying both the terms, that is xk and h minus k should be multiplied. We will have multiplied means just put this figure on this figure. Just put this figure on this figure, that is overlapping with origin to origin. This origin must be overlapped with this origin. So check, then after that check out that which value is overlapped with which value and multiply both the values. That is, when we put this value here, we will add 0 is overlapped with 0 and its value is 1. 1 is multiplied with 1 by 2, resulted 1 by 2. Other all values here are zeros. 0 multiplied with 1, 0 multiplied with 2, 0 multiplied with 3. All other values will be, that is 0, and also here also 0. So after overlapping, only one value will be there, 0th value. At position 0 value is non-zero for both the value. So it is now 1 by 2 at n equal to 0. Now third step is adding all the values of w and k. After adding all the values, it results a 1 by 2. Adding all the values of w and k. In this case, n equal to 0. So it becomes 1 by 2. 0 plus 0 plus 1 by 2 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0, it is 1 by 2. In the next case, we will shift it by one step. That is, we are now in the next step, n equal to 1. xk will remain same. Now h minus a will shift it towards right by one place. That this step should be shifted here, and this becomes now 0 will be shifted 1, 1 minus 1 shifted 0, minus 2 will be shifted minus 1, and this is the next value. And then further again the same step, we will overlap the values and multiply the overlap values. That is, 0 is multiplied with 0 term is multiplied with 0 terms of this one term multiplied with 1 term of this one, and so on. So after multiplying, it is half multiplied with 1 half, 1 multiplied with 1 1. Only two values are non-zero, other all values are 0. So now adding again the same step, adding all the values. 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 becomes 1. So this is the next value, y1. 1 means n equal to 1. Where y0 means n equal to 0. Now next step again, finding the n2 value. n2 value is again xk will remain same. h1 minus k will be shifted towards right by one step more. It becomes here. It is like a train moving in positive direction with one step with every time, moving train. So now it becomes here, and again overlapping the values. Overlapping will yield three values. Now it is 1 by 2 multiplied with 1, 1 by 2 multiplied with, you can put it here, 0, 1, 2. Okay, and multiplying here, you will have that 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2, and the values are 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2 is equal to 3 by 2. It is the next value, and the same step, same procedure will so on up to the value 0 when there is no overlapping. The train will pass to the signal xk. This xk is here. Now train will move here, shifting again one part in positive direction, again overlapping. Now 1, 2, 3 both are overlapped. At the 1, 2, 3 point, this is overlapped here. It is 1 by 2 each. This is 1 by 2 each, and this is 1 each. So it becomes 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2 at 1, 2, 3 positions. And further we will add all the values 3 by 2. This is the y3 value because n equal to 3 case. Now further n equal to 4 case. Xk will remain same. Now this train will move forward by one step again. H3 minus k will move forward, becomes H4 minus k. Now 1, 2, 3 will become 2, 3, 4. Okay, moving forward, again overlapped and multiplying with xk, this term, and we will have two values now, 2 or 3, because fourth value is here 0. Okay, so it becomes 1 by 2, 1 by 2, and 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 will adding 1. So it is y4, and now it is the fifth term. Fifth term means xk will remain same again, and h4 minus k will move forward. This train will move forward, and it becomes now 3, 4, 5 position 1 by 2. This step is same. Now again multiplying, only 3 term is non-zero, 3 here multiplied with non-zero, overlapping like this. This term should be overlapped here. We put this graph and overlapped here. Just 0 is 0, it is 0, 0, no term. So 3 is this one, 3 is one term here, 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 is multiplied with 3 position. At 3 position it becomes 1 by 2. All the terms are 0. Adding, it is n equal to 5 term, that is y5 equal to 1 by 2. And further we will shift. You can see that further we will shift h6 minus k, it becomes here. That is 4, 5, 6. At 4, 5, 6 there is no overlapping. So it is 0. All of the terms of shift will become 0. So we need not to calculate all of the terms. So just combining all the terms, that is y0 1 by 2, y1 1, y2 3 by 2, okay, y3 3 by 2, y4 1, y5 1 by 2. All the terms are putting here with 0 here, 0th term, first, second, third, fourth, fifth term. Okay, and this arrow signifies it is first 0th term. So this is what yn. We can plot it also. This is the plot. That at 0 it is 1 by 2, then 1, then 3 by 2, 3 by 2, 1, 1 by 2, and again it's 0. So this is what convolution sum of two values. This is the procedure that how to calculate convolution integral and convolution sum for any LTI system which has certain input and which has certain impulse response Hn. Input is xn yielding some output yn. And I hope you understand, and if any queries you can put in comment section. I will try my best to answer, and thank you for watching.